Pregnant or planning? Get holistic support with 9 and Beyond, your trusted pregnancy companion.
If you are planning pregnancy, you have to make sure that you start working towards it at least 4 to 6 months before you conceive. We are nurturing a seed, right, within us. So our womb is like this garden where we plant the seed and it has to grow and nurture. But before we nurture the seed, we have to nurture the garden itself.
What are these underrated nutrients as per you which should be taken care of by a pregnant couple?
Choline is a very important nutrient for your baby's brain development. Zinc is very important for your hormones and for your immunity, which can go low when you're pregnant.
You had mentioned gut health, right? How does it impact pregnancy and immunity?
When the gut lining gets damaged and imbalanced, there's inflammation throughout the body. It's not just in the gut.
Right.
You know, when you have gut issues, bloating, IBS, leaky gut, constipation, acidity, we are hearing a lot of things today, right? 95% of your serotonin is produced by your gut, only 5% by your brain. But what happens is the gut serotonin, jab enough hota hai, the vagus nerve, which is the nerve that connects your gut to the brain, tells the brain there's enough serotonin. So wo serotonin ka impact aapke brain mein se aata hai. Because now it knows there is enough. But when there's less serotonin, the brain also can't do much. That's why gut is called the second brain. And if your microbiome is poor as a mother, then you are setting up your baby for a lot of problems in the future. And that impacts your baby's immunity patterns. And then the baby is born with a lot of allergies, eczema, immune issues, all of that. Because the mother's microbiome becomes the child's first microbiome, because the baby is very sterile inside. Baby ko kahan se microbiome aaya?
Coming back to pregnancy, nausea, cravings, aversion, that's part of the journey.
Anything wet, soggy, heavy will make you feel more nauseous. Also depends on your zinc levels. If your zinc is low, your taste buds specifically will get altered.
Hello and namaste. This is once again Sonia Pawa, your friend and guide from 9 and Beyond. 9 and Beyond is your world of holistic wellness, where we try our best to combine modern science with ancient Vedic wisdom for your holistic nutritional journey and a journey of basically wellness and well-being. And this is a safe place for you all to learn, relate, and grow, and basically find your space and balance in your diet. Today we come to you with your favorite topic, that is nutrition. But I would say it may be your favorite, but I think it's the most important thing in the world, because this is what takes care of your mind, body, and soul. We all know how to eat healthy, yet we fail to follow it. This whole confusion with diet, trends, guilt, everything combining together, the food which should be a joy for us sometimes becomes stressful. How do you come out of this fear of food and have a better understanding about it? And for this very reason, today we have with us a very special person, Neha Rangalani. Neha, a warm welcome to you, and we are extremely grateful to you for removing your time and coming here to enlighten our audience today. Thank you so much for being here. About Neha ji, I would like to say she is a very renowned integrative nutritionist from Mumbai, who is also a functional medical expert and also a health coach. Her popularity lies in the fact that her approach to nutrition is realistic, relatable, and result-oriented. And why is this so? Because her philosophy of life is very simple. Eat right, eat smart, and not less. She's helped various women, thousands of women actually, around the world, in India, to not only just transform their bodies, but to also have a better understanding of food, which leads to your holistic health. But before we dive into our podcast today, if you're a first timer on 9 and Beyond platform, do subscribe to our channel, And don't forget to share this episode. You never know, your share today may help somebody find clarity and confidence in their wellness journey. So it can help somebody find basic balance in their diet. So let's all do a good deed together and start the podcast. So Neha ji, I'm really happy that you're here today for our audience, enlighten them on the most important part, which is the nutrition.
Yes, thank you so much, Sonia ji. I am so grateful for being here and really humbled to be sitting here and talking about something very important that I think every woman needs to understand. And thank you for giving me this opportunity.
We are always blessed when people like professionals like you come here, remove your precious time and sit on this platform so that you can share this wisdom and basically help the world improve. So thank you so much for that. So starting about the nutrition, like 9 and Beyond is a platform which basically nurtures a woman's health, right? Whether it is pre-pregnancy, while they're pregnant, post-pregnancy, let's say overall general wellness through their life, right? So sticking to the pre-pregnancy and pregnancy phases, generally what happens is that a woman will always start taking care of diet once she tests positive for pregnancy.
Yeah.
We want to have your opinion on the fact that there are times their bodies are not nutritionally ready to even conceive.
Yeah.
What happens, right? So please tell us the importance of that today.
Yeah, I think you've touched upon a very important topic because what I've also seen in my practice is that women start taking care of their health and start focusing on nutrition and ये supplement लेना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, जब वो 2 लाइन देखते हैं अपने pregnancy test पे, उसके बाद उनका जो mindset है उस direction में जाता है. But actually, we are nurturing a seed, right, within us. So our womb is like this garden where we plant the seed and it has to grow and nurture. But before we nurture the seed, we have to nurture the garden itself. And people don't realize that because हम इतने nutritionally deficient होते हैं or we are really not living a good lifestyle. We are really not taking care of so many aspects of our life. But when we get pregnant, we're like, अच्छा सब कुछ करना है अभी. But it may be too late to undo all the damage that's been done. So I always tell my clients, if you are planning pregnancy, you have to make sure that you start working towards it at least 4 to 6 months before you conceive.
Okay.
And you have to start living your life in such a way, your routine, your habits in such a way कि आप सोच लो आप अभी से pregnant हो. आप क्या करोगे अगर अभी आपको पता चले आप pregnant हो तो? Will you still have 2 Coke a day? Will you still sleep at 4 o'clock? No, right? You'll be more cautious. You'll be more mindful. You'll be more alert with whatever you're doing. So live today like you're pregnant. That also changes your energy in a way to manifest that pregnancy.
I was just going to say that the biggest thing that could happen is the manifestation because you're already living that dream.
Yeah, you're already living. So you're emitting that energy and that vibration in the universe.
Yeah.
And when you're living in that way, जब आप pregnant हो जाओगे फिर आपके लिए तकलीफ नहीं होगी to start living in a way that's important for pregnancy. And that is something that makes a big difference not only in the mother's health but ultimately in the child's health when the child is born.
Yeah.
So 3 to 6 months पहले आपको अपने gut का ध्यान देना है, आपको अपने emotions का ध्यान देना है, आपको अपने food का ध्यान देना है, sleep का देना है, सारे factors. You have to work on everything. And then when you conceive, it's normal for you. It's a normal routine. Then it won't feel like something so new and something so like a untouched territory kind of a thing कि अब क्या करूँ, and that confusion will go out of the window.
Absolutely. And you'll be more confident in your journey.
Absolutely.
Of what you're doing. Don't you think we can add in here that it's the couple who should start taking care of it and this should probably become their family lifestyle?
Total.
When it comes to, the kitchen? For a simple reason that when this becomes your lifestyle, obviously the child will also grow up in the right. Besides being pregnant and while you're feeding the fetus, once the child is born, following the same lifestyle is what is going to help them in that 360-degree development.
Absolutely. And what you touched upon is very right. Routine and lifestyle तो ठीक है, family का वो तो ज़रूरी है. But I think what's very important is the man's sperm health. Which we don't pay too much attention to because as a society we are conditioned to think कि अगर fertility issue है तो वो सिर्फ female में है.
Yeah.
And the man is okay. Mostly to every man is okay only, but really in the last 10 years, we've seen the sperm health and the sperm quality go down so bad for men because of the pollution, of the stress, of the lifestyle, smoking, drinking, alcohol, heat from devices, keeping phones in your pocket, laptops on your lap.
Right.
All of that is damaging the sperm structure and the morphology and ultimately the quality of the sperm. And that's why we have so many fertility issues. So when couples come to me, usually it's the husband who says, yeah, my wife has PCOS and hormonal imbalance. Ab check kar lo, we want to plan a family. I'm like, आपने अपना check करवाया? हाँ, मतलब डॉक्टर ने कहा था, but I think सब ठीक ही होता है. That's when I have to insist and tell them, please, can you please do your sperm analysis and get me the report because I would like to see what's happening there. And then so many times I'm counseling the couples together.
Yeah.
And it's the man who needs more changes in his diet, supplementation, routine and all of that.
Lifestyle habits, yeah.
And जब वो change करते हैं तो the woman conceives because a woman's body is very receptive. When you start doing the right thing, the hormones really come back to balance. I won't say quickly for everyone, but the body responds. But for men, if they don't change their habit, because men are little more stuck up with their habits, नहीं काम का तो stress है ही ना, हमें तो, how will we not work, how will we not do this, how will we rest all the day. So हमें वो सिखाना पड़ता है that, you have to strike a balance.
Yeah.
It's not about आप सारा को छोड़ दो and not about give up everything in your work and stuff, but where's the balance? So start yoga or start breath work and start, going for walks, as simple as that. Stop smoking or reduce your smoking. जो भी changes करने होते हैं, and then the results are phenomenal.
Absolutely. At 9 and beyond, we always tell them, when a couple says we are pregnant, which is such a latest thing to say, it's not just fashionable to say that. It actually is that they are pregnant. And if they are pregnant, then everything is 50-50. And they have to understand that.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you touched upon the male part of it because I think it's very, very important for them to understand.
Yeah.
Tell me, Neha, if there is some roadmap of nutrition for pregnancy, if you were to design, what are those very important fundamental things which you would want them to follow right through their pregnancy in all their 3 trimesters?
Right. I think I would have these 4 pillars of health that I would want everyone to focus on, not only during pregnancy, but from the post 6 months before they come seriously. And the first of that has to be the foundation, which is your nutrition. Right. You can never trade nutrition for anything else. It is the foundation. आपके cells बनते हैं आपके nutrients से. You are what you eat.
Yeah.
But more than that, you are also what you digest, absorb, assimilate, and finally what gets into your cells, right? Because आपने मुंह से कुछ डाला, but ज़रूरी नहीं है वो आपके cells में गया. So you have to be very careful about what you're eating. Are you choosing wholesome foods? So I always tell my clients, when you choose foods, ask yourself, is this coming from a plant or is this made in a plant?
Yeah. So this is a second person on this podcast. The very first podcast we did was by a gynecologist who said to choose the right food. Just think about it. Is it coming from the plant or of the plant?
Absolutely. I believe in that totally. Nature given है आपका food कि man-made है. I'm not saying आप man-made बिल्कुल मत खाओ because we also live a very busy hectic lifestyle and not everything man-made is bad. Man-made also अगर आप घर पे granola बनाते हो, cookies बनाते हो, you're making homemade laddus and all, fine, man-made है.
बिल्कुल.
But आपने nature के ingredients लेके उनको बनाया. So आपके cookies में oats, almonds, flax seeds, coconut oil ये सब होगा जो nature से आता है and minimally processed है.
बिल्कुल.
But अगर आप कमर्शियल फूड्स खाते हो जिसमें पहले के 3 इंग्रेडिएंट्स ही रिफाइंड व्हीट, रिफाइंड ऑयल, रिफाइंड शुगर है, most of the biscuits, cereals, breads that we get from the market are filled with that. If your diet comprises majorly of that, then you're in for a trouble. So cow, 20% you may eat man-made foods you enjoy because socializing, all of that, fine. I'm not telling you stop living your life, but 80% of the chunk of your diet should come from nature-given foods. Fruits, vegetables, sprouts, nuts, seeds, बहुत कुछ है, millets, pulses. There's so much. We are blessed with abundance of tasty food by nature. मतलब, I don't think वहीं कोई कमी है उसकी. It's just about developing your taste and just making the right choice. So you have to eat that because that food also nourishes your gut. And your gut is literally like you know, the
first environment.
first environment. Yeah, and everything starts from there.
Yes.
And everything in the body then spreads from there also. I always say your gut is not Vegas. What happens in your gut doesn't stay in your gut. तो सारा कुछ बॉडी में जाता है. So if it's good, that also goes into your system. If it's bad, that also goes into your system. So that is the first pillar. My second pillar that I would definitely focus on is movement, conscious movement, mindful movement. Now I understand जब आप प्रेगनेंसी के लिए ट्राई कर रहे हो, लॉट ऑफ वुमेन से कि यार मुझे हैवी वर्कआउट्स नहीं करने, व्हाट इफ आई गेट प्रेग्नेंट एंड देन आई हैव अ मिसकैरेज. सो आई वांट टू clarify that myth first, that you never have a miscarriage majorly because of exercise. It's always because of stress or hormonal imbalances underlying in your body which you haven't dealt with. But अगर आप वर्कआउट करते हो, जैसे आप योगा करते हो, वॉक पे जाते हो, मॉडरेट वेट ट्रेनिंग एंड मॉडरेट intensity का वर्कआउट करते हो, you'll never have miscarriage even when you're trying. In fact, what you'll have is better chances of conception because when you exercise, you produce happy hormones, happy chemicals, blood circulation better होता है, आपका lymphatic drainage better होता है, तो toxins आपकी body से निकलते हैं. So in that sense, the body becomes more receptive and ready for conception. It feels more safer to get in a baby to nourish and nurture inside. So mindful movement before and also when you're pregnant, check with your doctor. Walk करने में तो कोई हर्ज नहीं है. You can definitely go for a walk no matter what, unless you have very, massive complications. Then it's a different case. Absolutely. पर आप walk कर सकते हो, आप घर का काम कर सकते हो. Be active. All I'm trying to say is don't, pregnancy हो गई इसका मतलब ये नहीं बस बैठ जाओ, अब कुछ नहीं करना क्योंकि मेरे अंदर तो baby grow हो रहा है. In fact, you need to move and that also helps your baby. And of course, from the second, third trimester, prenatal yogas and you have light weight training, band workout and all for women, Kegels, uterus के लिए exercises होते हैं. I think
Healthy core exercises specifically for this purpose.
For better and smoother and seamless delivery.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. And the third pillar has to be stress management. आप सारा अच्छा खाना खा लो, आप एक्सरसाइज कर लो, पर अगर आप स्ट्रेस को मैनेज नहीं कर रहे हो ना, उनका कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं होने वाला बॉडी पे. बिकॉज जब आप स्ट्रेस केमिकल्स प्रोड्यूस करते हो अपनी बॉडी में, अ लॉट ऑफ इट गोज टू योर बेबी, स्पेशली व्हेन यू आर प्रेग्नेंट. द यूट्रीन फ्लो, जो ब्लड फ्लो होता है वो स्टॉप हो जाता है, रिड्यूस हो जाता है. सो आपका ऑक्सीजन न्यूट्रिशन डिलीवरी नहीं होता है आपके बेबी को, फीटस को. प्लस यू आर ऑल्सो affecting your digestion, you're affecting your mental health. When you're stressed, you're affecting your hormones. So miscarriage ke chances, like I said earlier, is majorly because of stress. Because then when you're stressed, you're not producing the right kind of hormones to even allow the baby and the embryo to latch to the uterus, your womb. Progesterone जो बहुत important होता है in the initial phases for latching
Right.
the fetus to the embryo to the womb,
Right.
that gets affected. So ठीक है, एक आधा स्ट्रेस, जस्ट मोमेंट्री स्ट्रेस आपका है, एपिसोडिक है एंड खत्म हो गया, दैट्स फाइन. बट इफ द episode doesn't end and you're constantly ruminating and you're constantly overthinking, then you're calling trouble for yourself because you're going to damage the baby's health, your baby's brain development. A lot of it, all of that damages the baby. And then the fourth pillar, I would say, is sleep. Now we all are trading our sleep for Netflix and social media and doom scrolling at night because वो तो खत्म ही नहीं होता. It's like an addiction.
Yeah.
And when you're not sleeping, you are actually increasing the chances of inflammation and stress in your body. You're also becoming insulin resistant the next day. So one night of poor sleep makes you 25% insulin resistant the next day. So basically आपका blood sugar balance पूरा affect हो जाता है. And then you start craving for all the wrong foods the next day. You want all fried junk, because you want to feel better. You want to feel comforted. So when you're not sleeping well, you're not resting well, that happens. Besides that, your brain clarity, mental clarity, आपके जो emotions process होते हैं वो हमारे नींद में होते हैं. We actually clear the emotional gunk from our brain when we are sleeping. And if you're not doing that, that means those episodes and everything that's happening in your life, that's not getting processed. So then you say, I don't know why I'm overthinking. I don't know मेरा दिमाग क्यों negative की तरफ ज़्यादा जाता है. Because आप सो नहीं रहे हो. आप अपनी body को वो chance नहीं दे रहे हो to eliminate the toxins from the brain. And that's very important. So I think these 4 pillars are non-negotiables for anyone.
Yes, who's planning?
Who's planning, yes. Absolutely.
That's why at 9 and Beyond, when we talk about holistic health, this is what it is. Food for mind, food for body and food
Yes.
for soul,
Yes.
right? And that together is what works like magic for everybody.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Motherhood is a new chapter and you deserve the right support. 9 and Beyond gives you daily routines, masterclasses, and guided practices, combining the best of science and Garv Sanskar traditions. It's more than an app, it's your personal pregnancy coach. Start your journey with 9 and Beyond today. Download now. There's a very strong myth for a pregnant woman that she has to eat for two. With the result, she puts on weight, there's always bloating, there are other issues involved, right? What is your opinion of mindful eating, which is for nutrition and not for calories, and yet it is going in the right direction? Like you said, आपके gut में जो जाता है वो सब आपकी body में जाता है.
Yeah. So I think this has come from the old tradition where, elderly ladies would say, अच्छे से खाओ, बच्चे की सेहत कैसे बनेगी. That was the obsession that the child should be fat and should be like a big baby. You should have a big baby.
Yeah.
You should deliver a big baby. I think that it came from there, but you really don't need to eat for two.
Wow.
What you need to do is you need to nourish for two. Now it's a big difference. Eating for two
Absolutely.
and nourishing for two is actually a very different perspective altogether. So in the first trimester, anyways, आपको calorie requirement ज़्यादा होती नहीं है. In fact, you won't believe I've had clients who were overweight when they came to me in the first trimester, and we actually worked on weight loss. We had them lose anything between 2 to 5 kgs, depending on उनका कितना weight था, so that they can comfortably gain weight in the second and third, जो वैसे भी होने वाला है. You can't avoid it. You can't really, you can't do anything about it. That's going to happen. But if you go down by a few kgs, then you have a bigger window.
Yeah.
To gain that weight, and very safely and comfortably they've lost weight in the first 3 months, and then they've put on few kgs whatever after that. So that's the idea. First 3 months, so you just eat for yourself, jo aap khate ho वैसे खाओ, but nutritious खाओ. And the second and third trimester, you just need 300 to 400 calories more in the entire day, which is nothing more than 2 extra chapati दिन में खा लिया, 1 bowl पोहा extra खा लिया. That's how it equates, बस उतना से ही आपको extra खाना है. You don't really need to eat too much in every meal, but your quality of nutrition matters. So when people say ज़्यादा खाओ, ज़्यादा calories खाओ, now today even an apple has 200 calories and even a samosa has 200 calories. But the nutrition composition of both of them is so different. An apple will give you fiber, vitamins, minerals, all the nutrients that nature intended. And, we really can't replicate that also, even in a supplement form.
Right.
उसमें इतने सारे antioxidants and, compounds होते हैं, which only God knows how he's made it.
Yeah.
When you eat a samosa, that gives you 200 calories, but कोई nutrients ही नहीं होते उसमें. मैदा है, आलू है और कुछ है ही नहीं. So, आपको कैलोरी यहाँ से आ रहा है. हाँ, फ्राइड भी है. So just giving you an analogy and example to understand, आप कहाँ से वो 200 कैलोरीज ला रहे हो? कैलोरीज तो आपको मिल गई 200 दोनों से, बट कहाँ से आया? और आपको उस 200 कैलोरी में कितना न्यूट्रिएंट्स पैक था, वो आपने देखा? So you have to have nutrient density in your food, not calorie density.
That's what wholesome food means basically, right?
Yeah. So instead of opting for a bar of chocolate when you're hungry, have a banana. So आप क्या choose कर रहे हो? That is important, and कितना nutrients आपको उसमें से मिलने वाला है. So eating for two is a myth, and all you have to do is nourish for two. Please nourish for two, because your baby needs nutrition.
Rinku's mantra, nourish for two. Don't eat for two, nourish for two.
Yeah. So nutrient density. Is this going to give me a lot of nutrients? Great. If not, what can I replace it with? So mindfulness. Everything starts with awareness. The more aware you are, you'll always be on the right path.
Absolutely. That's why we are here.
Yeah.
To empower them with the wisdom on the subject. Absolutely. Right. So, you had mentioned gut health, right? How does it impact pregnancy and immunity? And what are the food sources which can actually strengthen your gut for a good, strong pregnancy?
Yeah, I think, this is very important. And gut, hum log jo last decade mein we've heard so much about gut health.
Yeah.
It's only for the right reasons, because your gut is this garden which has trillions of bacteria, trillions of microbes, and actually more than human cells. Now, research studies are saying that we have more microbes than we are humans. We have so many microbial cells in our body. And these microbes really don't sit there, do nothing. They are doing so much. But depends what's your garden made out of. Does it have more flowers or does it have more weeds and thorns? So that also depends on what you're eating, because these guys feed on what you're eating and what you're thinking and how you're living. Everything impacts their existence. So if you are eating, like I said, all processed, junk food, drinking a lot of tea, coffee, soda, colas, having a lot of sugary stuff, you're feeding the bad bacteria, the bad microbes. Now these guys, again, just like we metabolize, they also metabolize. So they create their own toxins as a part of their metabolism. Those toxins damage our gut lining. They damage our serotonin production, which is a feel-good hormone, the happy hormone. So when there's not enough serotonin, you don't feel good, because 95% of your serotonin is produced by your gut, only 5% by your brain. But what happens is the gut serotonin, jab enough hota hai, the vagus nerve, which is the nerve that connects your gut to the brain, tells the brain there's enough serotonin. So wo serotonin ka impact aapke brain mein se aata hai, because now it knows there is enough. But when there's less serotonin, the brain also can't do much. That's why gut is called the second brain. It's literally such an important organ. And when the gut lining gets damaged and imbalanced, there's inflammation throughout the body. It's not just in the gut.
Right.
You know, when you have gut issues, bloating, IBS, leaky gut, constipation, acidity, we are hearing a lot of things today, right? So many new terms in the space of gut health. It all means that your gut lining is poor, it's damaged, there's inflammation, there's bad bacteria in your gut. When that happens, that also spreads to your baby through the fetus. And that impacts your baby's brain and body development. 70% of your immunity is in your gut, under your gut lining. So if your gut is unhealthy, your immune system is not healthy. Your immune system is always hypervigilant, is always overactive to keep you protected, because gut ke through hi itna damage aa raha hai to the body. And that impacts your baby's immunity patterns. And then the baby is born with a lot of allergies, eczema, immune issues, all of that. Because the mother's microbiome becomes the child's first microbiome, because the baby is very sterile inside. Baby ko kahan se microbiome aaya? Kahin se nahi. It's the embryo which went in. So how did he get the microbiome? Nowhere. But the mother's microbiome becomes the baby's microbiome, especially through vaginal delivery when that happens. And if your microbiome is poor as a mother, then you are setting up your baby for a lot of problems in the future. And that is very important. Not just body problems, also mental issues. And we are seeing that today.
Yes.
Young kids have anxiety, depression, suicidal tendencies. And it's a very sad plight, because childhood should be like childhood, which we all have experienced. But today's generation isn't experiencing that of a childhood. Of course, there are external factors also that add up. But if your internal is healthy, you'll be
Absolutely.
you'll be able to tackle the external very strongly and bravely.
The foundation has to be.
Foundation hi weak hai abhi. It's very weak, because we are all roaming with terrible guts today.
You know, this is a really important message for couples of today. Parenting is a very responsible thing, right? And this responsibility starts way before the embryo grows in the womb.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So you have to realize the importance of all these things to have a healthy baby. And a healthy baby means physically, mentally, and holistically. And if you have to have a healthy baby, you first have to be that 360-degree health person, which is what we are talking about.
Yeah, so that's why I said it's your garden. You first nurture the garden, then you nurture the seed that you're putting in.
Absolutely.
Because you won't have to do much. It's like the soil, which is fertile, has a lot of nutrients, can grow a beautiful tree. But a soil which is abused, exploited, has no nutrients, is completely like, overexposed and over manipulated, how is it going to grow anything healthy? वो झाड़ ही नहीं उसमें टिक पाएगा, it won't have the strength. So it's all that soil, and your womb is that soil which you have to nurture. So when you ask me what are the things that they should do for their gut health, lot of things. First of all, again, food. Like I said, what we eat. The microbes eat. तो आप देखो आप क्या खा रहे हो और आपको कैसे माइक्रोब्स चाहिए. अगर आपको बुरे माइक्रोब्स चाहिए आप बुरा खाना खाओ, आपको अच्छे माइक्रोब्स चाहिए आप अच्छा खाना खाओ. So fiber is very important.
Okay.
Because fiber is their favorite food for the good microbes.
Okay.
So when you eat a lot of fiber-rich fruits, vegetables, greens, prebiotic fibers होते हैं जैसे banana में होते हैं, apples, oats, garlic, all these foods have prebiotic. Prebiotic means these fibers are one of the favorites of the microbes.
Okay.
So they happily feed on it. And when they feed on it, they grow. And just like I said, the bad microbes produce compounds. The good microbes also produce compounds. So what do they help with? Serotonin production. They help with balancing inflammation, your hormones, your weight, your mental health, everything.
Yeah.
वो सारा काम करते हैं. वो बेचारे बहुत हार्ड वर्किंग है. But just we need the right population.
You have to fuel them so that they can work.
Yeah.
Let's put it like that.
Yeah, and then your fermented foods, like your fermented pickles and vegetables, kanji, chas, all these things are amazing because they have live probiotics, जिसे हम कहते हैं. The probiotics which are bacteria, आपने prebiotic दे दिया fiber, आपने probiotic दे दिया. Now you have the right ingredient. Now they'll do their work. You don't have to do anything. They know what to do inside. So जब आपने वो दिया, it's good. And then of course your sleep stress also matters. When you're very stressed out, when you're not sleeping well, it impacts your gut microbiome. The good guys can't sustain, the bad guys take over because our chemicals are produced in the body which feed the bad microbes.
Bad habits feed bad microbes.
Yes.
Good habits feed good microbes. Let's put it like that, right?
Let's say bad food and habits feed bad microbes. Good food and good habits feed good microbes.
Excellent. That's a good mantra to remember. So this is mantra number 2 for today's episode, right?
Yeah, so that's very important. And जब वो होता है तो आपको कुछ ज़्यादा नहीं करना पड़ता है. You feel robust and healthy and yeah, there's vitality, there's stamina, there's vigor, everything. There's enthusiasm for life.
Yeah. Which also gives you the energy to deal with stress better.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
it's a vicious cycle,
Yeah.
right? What comes
Absolutely.
first, the chicken or the eggs? If there are stresses which you cannot remove from your life, sometimes it happens.
Yes, you can.
But if you're taking care of your gut health, probably your mind is better prepared to take care of these.
It's more resilient.
It's more resilient.
It's more
Yes.
stronger, resilient, and of course more practical, I feel. Because you can think right and correct. Then you're controlling your mind and your mind does not control you. Because you have the right hormones and the right neurotransmitters with you.
Absolutely. If you're talking about nutrients, we talk a lot about folic acid, iron for pregnancy, right? There are a lot of underrated nutrients also,
Yeah.
like omega-3, right? And choline, right?
It's very
Which is so important for the development of brain and body of the fetus. What are these underrated nutrients as per you which should be taken care of by a pregnant couple?
Sure. You rightly said, I think when a woman is trying to get pregnant, the first thing she's given is folic acid. Right? Aapko ye lena hai. Folate is the most common. Yeah. And first, in some cases, iron is given if you're deficient in iron. Then that's important because that delivers oxygen and nutrients to your baby. Folic acid helps in the spinal and the neural tube development, spinal cord development, your baby's brain, DNA repair, DNA multiplication and the cell growth of the baby. Now, that folic acid is very important. So, we are not paying attention to the other nutrients, which are also very important. Like you said, omega-3.
Yeah.
I literally start omega-3 3 months before conception for the mother, even when the gynae does not prescribe it. I'm like, you have to take this. And in general, even forget pregnancy, even normal people need omega. But pregnancy में तो आपकी needs बहुत high हो जाती है because A, it's anti-inflammatory. B, it really takes care of your cellular membrane because our cell membrane is made up of fat. Now, what kind of fat you eat decides the membrane health. If you're eating a lot of saturated, thick, heavy fat, then the membrane agility and flexibility gets affected. So, the nutrient entry doesn't happen very well into the cells. Okay. But when you're taking good amount of omega-3, then it's very pliable, the cell membrane. It's fluid, it's, It's easy
Right.
for the cells to absorb nutrients. So omega-3 is important also for the baby's brain development. Extremely important. DHA, which is one of the omega-3 fatty acids,
Right.
is very important for your baby's brain cell development and for your baby's IQ. So research studies have actually shown that mothers who've taken omega-3, their babies have better IQ. And also in general to tackle inflammation in the body, because wo to hota hi rehta hai. We are living in a very stressful surrounding. Pollution, this, that, lot of things are there, right? So it tackles inflammation. The second thing that you said was choline. Again, choline is a very important nutrient for your baby's brain development, which is very like ignored. Like it's not even spoken about.
Right.
Now your peanuts, cauliflower, tofu, ये सारी चीजों से आपको choline मिल जाता है. Besides that, there are certain supplements also that you can take. Magnesium is very important. Magnesium in general for the mother, because today we are very low on vitamin D. Most of us are always low on vitamin D. And we just keep taking vitamin D 60,000 IU pills without realizing that A, that's not the right way to do it. B, you have to replenish magnesium before taking vitamin D. Because vitamin D को absorb करने के लिए आपको magnesium लगता है. और अगर आपकी body में magnesium कम है, वो तो vitamin D तो will drop the magnesium, but you will start getting symptoms of magnesium deficiency in the body, like leg cramps, weakness, muscle pain, sleep issues हो जाएगा आपको, anxiety हो जाएगी. All these things can happen because of magnesium deficiency. So replenishing magnesium through magnesium rich foods like your almonds, pumpkin seeds, green leafy vegetables, that's great. You can also take magnesium supplements, because why not? Depending on what's the requirement of the person. And when you do that, then you start feeling better. Then the cramps go away, you sleep more sound, you feel more energetic, because now you're not deficient in it. You've replenished it. So magnesium becomes very important. And I think the last two nutrients that I would really pay more attention to is zinc and selenium. Okay. Again, zinc is very important for your hormones and for your immunity, which can go low when you're pregnant in general, because there's a lot of changes in your body.
Right.
So zinc, and also important for your gut. Zinc again heals the gut lining. So very important. So zinc rich foods are all your nuts, seeds, grains, millets, सब में zinc होता है. And selenium is very important for fertility and thyroid health. Okay. And we see a lot of girls with thyroid issues which crop up in pregnancy.
Right.
After they are pregnant, thyroid issues हो जाते हैं. So replenishing selenium before only and making sure they have good resource of selenium from Brazil nut, sunflower seeds. These both are very rich sources of selenium.
Okay.
And if need be, again, once we see the blood reports, I mean, as per functional medicine, so the way we read and comprehend the report is very different from what normal medical practitioners do. So we even see within the range to understand within the range where do you fall, and then what can happen next. So we want to prevent that also.
True.
Like we don't just wait for you to go out of range to kind of start the treatment. So just replenishing all these nutrients can make a big difference in the baby's health, in the mother's health. And at the end of the day, you want to enjoy your pregnancy. Na? You don't want to be on bed. You don't want to have a complicated pregnancy. You want to enjoy that phase. It's a very beautiful phase of a woman's life. So why would you want to live it in a way that is a trauma than a pleasant memory?
Absolutely.
And a lot of it comes from the ignorance of not taking care of your health and just
just not better understanding at nourishment. Not food, but nourishment.
Holistic nourishment.
Yeah, absolutely. Motherhood is a new chapter and you deserve the right support. 9 and Beyond gives you daily routines, masterclasses and guided practices, combining the best of science and Garv Sanskar traditions. It's more than an app, it's your personal pregnancy coach. Start your journey with 9 and Beyond today. Download now. Talking about nutrients, there is one thing, like there are supplements, right? Now there are certain supplements which are necessary because the food doesn't suffice in your body.
Yeah.
But then also on the reverse side, there are certain foods which are enough. Yeah. And you don't need certain kind of supplement.
Yeah.
Just explain that better.
Yeah, that's a beautiful question, because supplements is something people get scared of.
Yeah.
Like, nahi, itni sari dawaiyan leni hai. I'm like, nahi, ye dawaiyan nahi hai. These are just nutrients in an additional form to support you through your journey. So they understand. And I think now people are getting more aware and educated about this. So now the openness has kind of come into experiment with supplementation. But I would always say, see, food is foundation. You can never out supplement a bad diet. Never. But supplement can be a beautiful addition to your routine to fill the gaps wherever the gaps are. And you have to fill the gaps, because if you're not filling the gaps, then your body is not going to work optimally. And today, the kind of food we eat is not really sufficient, because like I said, the soil is overexploited. So जो हमारी दादी जो गाजर खाती थी उसमें जो विटामिन ए था अभी 50% कम है उसमें. So even if I'm eating enough carrots or XYZ food, I'm not getting that much nutrition that my ancestors got. It's just the way agriculture has industry has progressed, and it's sad for the common man, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
So supplementation becomes important, and like you rightly said, there are certain foods which can suffice, but certain cases you need supplementation. Like, see, you need folic acid, you need folate, I would say folate for the neural tube development. But again, in that, the quality matters of the supplement. What kind of supplement are you taking? Now, folic acid, what we usually take as Fall White, is an inactive form of folate. The active form is 5-MTHF. That's methyl tetrahydrofolate. What happens is, in our body, when we take folic acid, it has to be converted by the liver to 5-MTHF by this gene called MTHFR. Okay. Now, research is showing that today many people, like almost 50% population, has a deficiency in that MTHFR gene. It's a SNP. It's called a SNP. So there's a problem in that enzyme which converts this folic acid to active form of folate. So even if you're taking the folic acid, it's not going to your baby. You don't know, it may be not going to your baby. So if you're taking a folic acid supplement, take a 5-MTHF. Like, you can also tell your gynec or doctor that I want a 5-MTHF supplement. Recommend that for me, whichever brand, because that is a direct active form. So when you're consuming, the body doesn't have to do work to convert it, and your baby will get the benefits of that. But we still we still haven't progressed in that space to understand these things, and functional medicine does that. And I'm very grateful that I actually got the opportunity to educate myself in functional medicine, because it opened my eyes also. I was like, oh my God, like for years we are prescribing this and we don't know what is happening, and still it's being prescribed. So then there's more responsibility on our shoulders to bring this out.
Yeah.
And say, please take it, but take the right.
So glad you shared this information today on this platform, because this is like one of the underlying secrets.
Yeah.
I mean, and it should not be a secret.
No,
this should be common knowledge.
Please, really, it should be like every woman throw the normal folic acid supplements, get the 5-MTHF, you're sorted, because you don't know if you have the the gene SNP in your body and the lack of the enzyme which converts. What if you do? Because a lot of people now are getting that.
Yeah.
And research says 50%, 40 to 50%. That's a huge number. But anyways, what's the harm in taking an active form? Whether you have it or not, taking an active form, you're getting the benefit of it. And if it's available in the market, it's available for a reason.
Yeah.
So choose that over the inactive form. That's first. Secondly, vitamin D is very important in supplementation form. Because kitna sunlight mil jayega, kitna aap le loge. Sometimes there are space constraints. Sometimes you don't have the facility.
Even with global warming, you can't even take in too much of sun these days.
Yeah, and then there's pollution outside, and a lot of issues. B12 is very important, especially if you're vegan, vegetarian. B12 deficiency hoti hai. Non-vegetarians also have it, because a lot of B12 sufficiency depends on your gut health more than anything else.
Okay.
Because your gut has this intrinsic factor that absorbs B12. And if you have a bad gut, whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, doesn't matter. If you have a bad gut, you will have a B12 deficiency, because the absorption won't happen. Or if you have low stomach acid, which most people today who get heartburn, chest burn, they say, "Mujhe acidity ho gayi hai, bahut acid hai," and then they take antacids, which is actually bad, because antacids, at the moment, in that moment, they kind of calm your burning feeling. But over the over the long run, they kind of damage your stomach cells and they reduce the acid production, which is very bad because we need acid. It's a digestive agni and fire. We need that to break the food. And when we don't have that, we're not even breaking down nutrients and absorbing them.
Yeah.
Because when we eat food, the nutrients come in an inactive form. When they're broken down by the acid, then they become absorbable. And that is very important. So B12 deficiency is very rampant today. So B12, either you take an injection or you take a good quality supplement depending on where your gut health is at. These are the nutrients that you need.
Okay.
Iron is something that I would say try to get from food, because when you take extra iron, you also feed the bad microbes. Iron as a nutrient in supplement form can feed the bad microbes.
And that's why you get constipation.
That's not constipation, gut issues.
Yeah.
It's a very, it's a double sword. Iron is like a double-edged sword. Okay. So you have, of course you need it, but the form that you take it in can cause damage. Okay. So that's why getting iron from food and first improving your digestion is very important so that it can absorb the iron. To break iron down, you need good stomach acid.
Okay.
When we talk about gut health, for most people, I'm first working on their stomach acid. I mean, let's get your agni. Let's strengthen your agni, because then, ab kuch bhi khao, it will get into your system. And agni अच्छी नहीं है, तो आप कितना भी supplement ले लो, कितना भी खाना खा लो, आपके cells को कुछ नहीं लगने वाला. Still in the blood work, you will still be low on everything.
Right.
So that's very important. So these are the nutrients. I think what you can get from food is vitamin C. You have kiwi, you have amla, you have citrus fruits and vegetables. बहुत अच्छा खासा vitamin C मिल जाता है. Then you can definitely get vitamin E from your food. Again, very important for baby. It's an antioxidant. Both vitamin C and E are antioxidants. Your almonds, seeds have it. Your nuts have it.
Yeah.
Avocado has it. So these are all healthy fats which you can include, and you'll get your vitamin E. Vitamin A आपको मिल जाएगा अपने खाने से. Again, vitamin A supplementation for pregnant women is not safe. So you don't have to do it.
Okay.
You have to get it from your food, because vitamin A can cause toxicity. So it's again something that you don't want to play around with. So you do like your orange, red color fruits, vegetables, yellow color, green leafy vegetables. You get your vitamin A. थोड़ा सा नींबू डाल दो उसमें, तो iron absorption बढ़ जाता है. Because, it's the plant form of iron, which may not be very absorbable on its own, but नींबू डालने से, vitamin C डालने से, it becomes absorbable. And like I said, आपका gut ठीक है तो absorb कर ही लेगा. So this is how you need to play around with supplements and food.
Yeah. So, talking about food, coming to hydration. Yeah. Like there's a general thing that hydration needs liquids or in any form.
Yeah.
I mean, as a nutritionist, what do you want to say about that?
No, hydration is not liquid in any forms, because again, just like food, what you eat does not guarantee it gets into your cell. Water, what you intake does not guarantee it gets into your cells. You need electrolytes. आज का पानी जो हम लोग पीते हैं is dead water. The plastic bottles, the water that comes from our BMCs and all, and that pipes के through जो आता है, it's dead. It has no prana. Okay. So there are a lot of ways. There are some water purifiers these days that actually have chants and they have UV rays which make the water alive. That's a beautiful, if you can invest in that, why not? But if you can't, then at least add something alive in your water. It could be a dash of lemon juice. It could be a pinch of Celtic salt in your water. Some mint leaves, some orange slices. That's at least adds a little more vitality to your water than drinking the dead water that we are getting today. And you need electrolytes, because when we sweat, we are not just sweating water, we are sweating even minerals and electrolytes. We are losing them. So we need to replenish them. So vegetable juices are great. You can do celery juice, ash gourd juice, beet, carrot, pomegranate juice. That's great for your iron also. Vitamin A, iron, lot of nutrients. Herbal teas are better than your teas and coffees. When we talk about hydration, I have to mention about tea, coffee, because we see it as a very, harmless kind of a thing in our routine. But we don't understand the kind of harm it does to us at a lot of levels. Tea and coffee are very acidic. They irritate the gut lining. They stimulate your nervous system. They cause anxiety, irritation, mental health issues, stress. Tea and coffee cause your adrenal glands to release cortisol, which is a stress hormone. It's like giving your body a sign and signal saying, "Chalo kaam pe lago, terrorist aaya hai, jaldi bahut energy chahiye body ko." And every few hours when we keep doing cups of tea and coffee, we are weakening our adrenal glands. And after a point, our adrenal glands can't keep up to the stress in our life and they can't produce cortisol. And that leads to fatigue, chronic fatigue. Then you're like, subah utke also you feel like, mein to taakat hi nahi hai, woken up feeling dead. That's because your adrenal glands are now so worn out that they can't produce that cortisol that you need to wake up also with energy, enthusiasm for another day, to live another day. You don't have that. So that's what you do to your body. Besides that, caffeine also enters your placenta and gets to your fetus. And your baby's liver cannot handle it. Because obviously baby's liver is not developed at that point. And it can cause nervous system regulation issues, emotional regulation issues, and stress response issues in your child once the child is born.
Basically, you very weak mental health.
Yeah. Because if the child's nervous system has already got agitated,
It's a very serious matter.
and we don't think of it that way. Plus, it dehydrates
It's
you.
as bad as smoking, that means.
Yeah. Plus, it dehydrates you.
Yeah.
At this point, when you need more nutrition, more oxygen, more hydration, why would you want to put something in your body that's going to take away everything? The nutrients also, leach the iron also from your body, the magnesium, the calcium from your body, plus leave you dehydrated. You want a healthy baby, but your actions are so contradictory to what you want. And then you wonder, why is my child like this? Why did there's so many factors. We're not even thinking about it. Like, नहीं coffee तो चाहिए, मुझे तो नींद से उठते से coffee चाहिए.
I'm asking you one question. Considering coffee is such a fad today, is this reversible? Like, you were a coffee addict, now you're planning a pregnancy. Even if you're not planning a pregnancy, you are now on a wellness journey. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
You said it kind of makes your cortisol reproduction dead in a way.
Over a period of time.
Over the period of time when you overdo. I'm talking about people are overdoing.
Yeah, we live in a coffee culture. People are just living on cups of coffee.
Absolutely. Or
Become like a culture.
It's become like a culture.
Yeah.
That's why I'm specifying this.
Yeah.
So when you stop taking this, is this process reversible so that the production of cortisol comes back to your life and it regulates your system?
Yes, you have to specifically nurture your adrenal glands with vitamin C and adaptogens like ashwagandha, holy basil, ginseng. These are all herbs which nurture. प्यार से जाके आपके adrenal glands को ठीक करते हैं. Because वो बेचारा थक गया है बोझ उठा के आपका. एक तो mental stress, emotional stress. Then your coffee is adding more stress. So where are you giving it shanti? There's no shanti for adrenal glands. It's like constantly overworking. And then they're tired. That's why you see kids today who have no energy.
Exactly. And there's a lot of depression, mental health issues because, probably the resilience and the coping up skills, this is the scientific reason for it.
Yeah. Lot of factors, but this is one of the factors that adds up to it. What are kids doing? 15, 17-year-old kids, what are they doing? Sitting in coffee shops. When we were young, we didn't have coffee shops. We used to play. We used to go to the garden. Our lifestyle was very different.
Absolutely.
Today, kids are sitting in coffee shops and sitting on their iPads and having multiple cups of coffee. And it's become like a thing. Oh, I don't even know the names because I don't drink coffee.
Yeah.
There's espresso, there's macchiato, there's latte, there's this. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what it means. I don't care about any of it because I don't have any of it. So you need to hydrate. So you need to move off from that to more hydrating drinks like herbal teas, chamomile teas, green teas. Matcha is still okay. It has caffeine but sustained release, so doesn't do the damage like caffeine. Plus it has a lot of antioxidants, way more than coffee has. Coffee and tea. So okay, even if you want to do tea and coffee, I would suggest आप एक आधा कप कर लो दिन में. Okay? Sugar के बिना.
Yeah.
But don't get into the addiction of tea and coffee. That's not good for your baby. That's not good for your gut. It's not good for your nervous system. Pregnancy is a time where you need to be more centered and grounded. You don't want something that takes you away from your center. And coffee does that in one cup. It can take you away. You will feel active, alert in that moment. But the effect that it leaves on you is leaving you not centered. It's not a grounding food. It's not a calming food.
Very, very important piece of information you shared today. And I just hope that young couples out there who, like it's one of those very proud culture these days. It's like so fashionable to be
Social status, actually. Yeah. It's a social status. People have different coffee machines. Oh, I got my coffee from this place, that country, this country. I'm like, okay, doesn't matter.
sure. I mean, these are the bad effects of it, and I just hope that people learn their lessons in time so that they can save themselves and their future babies, who are like the future of this country.
Yeah.
So it's a very the picture is much larger than just one little cup of coffee, right?
Yeah, totally. It's the cumulative effect than just one cup. If you have once in a while, nothing. Your body can deal with it. So again, my one mantra is, it's not something that you eat once in a while that damages you. It's what you do every day and in every meal.
Yeah.
That is damaging you. And that you need to review and understand for yourself. That what do I need to replace and change? Because what is it that I eat in every meal? What is it that I'm regularly consuming? That is damaging me. Once in a while, a cake will not do any damage to you.
Yeah.
Once in a while, a coffee will not do any damage to you. What are your habits is the question.
True.
So when you talk about drinking water, yes, make your water alive. I would recommend have at least 1 glass every 1 hour. So don't chug water, like don't completely down 1 liter at one time because मुझे शाम को याद आया मैंने पूरा दिन पानी नहीं पिया तो अब मैं पूरा 1 liter पी जाऊंगी. That's not how you drink water. Your body also cannot absorb so much water at one time.
Right.
It slowly and steadily can absorb and you need to give your body that time. So 1 glass in 1 hour if you finish, you're hydrated through the day and you're not overdoing it also. So if you're awake for say 10-12 hours, you're having 10-12 glasses of water between 10 and 12, which is more than enough for a normal person.
So you are highly recommending infused water basically.
Infuse Celtic salt or juices, vegetable juices, which can add hydration to your body.
Okay.
And herbal teas.
Okay. Perfect. And what about coconut water?
Amazing. Coconut water is also right. Yeah. But if you're a kapha who has a lot of cough issues, for those people, it can be a little heavy.
Okay.
And cause a little more kapha. But if you're not, you're a pitta, you have high heat and fire, least to it.
Understood.
And also depends on the weather. Sometimes when it's very cold, coconut water is not really palatable. Then you don't feel like drinking coconut water also. With thanda hota hai. You want more warmer drinks.
Listen to your body.
Yeah, but it's a great drink, of course.
Okay. So we're coming back to pregnancy. Nausea, cravings, aversion, that's part of the journey and nobody can do anything about it, right? How do you mindfully tweak certain things in your eating habits so that you can not go off track from the diet you're supposed to take nutritionally, but also at the same time take care of these symptoms also? It just generally puts you off track.
Eating a good diet, it does. When you have nausea and aversions, you really can't eat much.
Yeah.
You just feel queasy all the time, no?
Certain kind of foods will make you queasy, which is actually supposed to be good for you at that point of time.
Yeah. So that's also actually a way of protecting your body, from certain things. When, of course, it happens because of hormones. The HCG hormone increases during pregnancy. And for some people, that alters the taste and smell receptors.
Right.
Also depends on your zinc levels. If your zinc is low, your taste buds specifically will get altered. And you will either have aversion or you will not be able to taste a few things. And that also happens. So zinc plays a very important role there. But when it comes to nausea, I think you have to, first of all, just accept it, that it's a part of the process and it's not a permanent thing. Like it's not going to go on through your pregnancy. In a couple of months or weeks, it will settle. Usually happens in the first 3 months. Very few people have it till the end, but most people get okay after the first 3 months. So what you have to do is basically focus on more dry snacks. Because anything wet, soggy, heavy will make you feel more nauseous. Anything light and dry will keep you will keep your digestive system very calm. Like makhanas, crackers, millet crackers, rice crackers, kurmura. These are the kind of things like dry and light. Something that is dry and light. These are the things that will keep you okay and will actually reduce your nausea. So what I tell my clients who have nausea, like morning sickness, what we call, if they have that, I always start their day with a dry snack. Like either it will be a rice cracker or some crackers. And I tell them just eat that. Or it could be a healthy cookie, whatever that is dry and light. And ginger and peppermint tea does very well for nausea.
Okay.
So you can actually boil ginger and mint and sip on that. Or you can also have peppermint essential oil in your water. Obviously of particular brands, like I believe in this brand called doTERRA, because they have good edible essential oils. But don't take anyone from the market and consume that, because a lot of fake products are there in the market and they can be harmful for health. So that is very good. And besides that, eat smaller meals, small frequent meals, and few sips of water at a time, not chugging too much water, because that can also make you feel very nauseous. So these are the few things. If you do, your nausea will get okay. When it comes to aversions and cravings, now these are two sides. You may have aversion to something and you may have craving for something.
Yeah.
It's all about decoding your cravings. See, if you have aversion to something, it's best to avoid, because it's just your hormones doing it.
Okay.
Avoid that food. What can you do if you can't tolerate it? I would
Just telling you don't do it.
your body's saying you don't do it. So don't do it. Find an alternative.
Right.
But when it comes to cravings, you can decode it very well. Like magnesium. That craving, chocolate craving, is magnesium deficiency.
Okay.
Majorly. Sweet cravings means your blood sugar level is not balanced, or you have insulin issues, like insulin regulation issues. Then when you have salty cravings, it could mean you need more minerals or you're dehydrated.
Okay.
It could mean that. When you crave fatty foods, it could mean you need good fats. Your cells need good fats. Ice craving is very common, and that's an iron deficiency. People crave ice. They just want to chew on ice. That means you have iron deficiency. Could be one of it. So that's how you decode your cravings.
Motherhood is a new chapter, and you deserve the right support. 9 and Beyond gives you daily routines, masterclasses, and guided practices, combining the best of science and Garv Sanskar traditions. It's more than an app, it's your personal pregnancy coach. Start your journey with 9 and Beyond today. Download now. It's such a beautiful way of nature to let you know in your pregnancy that what is lacking. So craving is actually lacking and not asking.
Craving is actually knocking on your door. It's like a signal which saying you, listen, hear me. I need attention. मुझे कुछ चाहिए तुमसे.
Yeah.
And we actually fulfill those cravings with all the wrong foods.
Yeah, instead of finding कि chocolate की वजह क्या है होने का,
हाँ.
we just consume more chocolate.
More and more and more. So start taking magnesium rich foods or maybe a magnesium supplement and you'll be much better. I used to be a chocolate lover as a kid. Massive. Like all kids are. But you know how it is mukh talab, that craving, that addiction. Once I balance my diet, now you keep a cake in front of me, a chocolate, piece of chocolate.
Great.
It doesn't attract me. Only if I want to have it, will I have it. It's not that because it's in front of me, I need to have it. That isn't there. And that is so empowering. That is just so empowering.
Yeah.
Because now the food is not controlling you. You're in control of yourself.
Yeah, that's a very beautiful way of putting it. Like, that food is for nourishment and not for entertainment or filling spaces. Or
which we are using today. We are using food as comfort these days, which is okay if you do it consciously. But who's doing it consciously?
Yeah, that's true. That's a thing. So, like how we are talking about nausea and cravings and aversions. Along with that also comes your emotional ups and downs, what we call mood swings.
Yeah.
Right? So, what do you do to, again, get in tune with your body's needs so that you can have a very holistic, nutritional diet rather than just like, using food as a comfort?
Yeah. When mood swings happen, I think the first thing is you want to find what's that food which will soothe me so that I don't feel these emotions. But I think the more you suppress and push these emotions away, the louder they come back. So you're not actually dealing with them from the root cause, you're just masking them. And that, I think, can be very difficult when especially you get into the last stages of pregnancy. So I think what you can do is, first of all, get aware. Okay, what am I feeling right now? I'm feeling very irritated, or I'm feeling extremely low. Acknowledge, I am feeling. It's okay. It's an emotion. We have termed emotions as good and bad. But emotions are just energy in motion, and they are just trying to tell us what is happening with us and where we are at right now. That's it. But we only want to feel the good emotions. We don't want to feel the heavy ones or little unpleasant ones. The minute we allow ourselves to feel the unpleasant ones, they have no power over us. So if you sit and say, yeah, okay, I have a feeling of sadness right now, or I have a feeling of irritation right now, and it's okay, I know it will go. That acceptance is 50% work done.
Okay.
Because now you've befriended the emotion and not pushed it away. And then you ask yourself, what is it that I need at this point? So what I'm actually trying to say right now is awareness. Don't be so mindless and just go and pick up things and eat.
Yeah.
You want to eat? Ask yourself, okay, I'm feeling this. I feel like eating a chocolate. Can I wait for 5 minutes? You ask yourself. If the answer is no, I can't wait, I have to eat it, fine, eat it. But now you did it consciously and not unconsciously. You broke your subconscious pattern. You interrupted that pattern. And that in itself is very powerful. Because that pattern is like shaken, and next time when that comes up, probably you'll be like, I don't need it. And then if the answer is no, then okay, yeah, I can wait for 5 minutes. So what can I do to soothe myself right now beside eating? Can I talk to a friend? Can I just go for a walk? Can I breathe? Can I just breathe or drink water? Can I listen to my favorite music? If you think you have that bandwidth and you can do that, do that. For all you know, you'll feel better and you won't need that chocolate. But if you don't and you still feel like, no, nothing's working, I need that chocolate, please go ahead. Because now you've done it with full awareness. And that's the magic. Just bring awareness in every action, and eventually you yourself will overcome all these issues. So mood swings happen. It's a normal part. Decode your cravings. Decode your mood swings. Accept them. Deal with them with awareness. And give yourself what you need at that point. You've done enough for yourself. It's okay. You don't need to beat yourself up if you aim that chocolate also. It's fine.
Yeah.
No guilt. No space for guilt in life. That's a very heavy emotion. We don't want that.
So basically, the whole idea is to befriend your bad emotion so that you can deal with it better.
I would say unpleasant emotion. Yeah. Not bad. Nothing's bad. Unpleasant. Anger teaches you where you need to set boundaries.
Right.
Sadness teaches you where you need to add more happiness in your life, or which area of your life is lacking joy. Every emotion teaches you something.
Yeah.
So I think that's very, very important. We are very scared to feel any emotion, any unpleasant emotion.
Yeah.
We only want to feel happy and more joyful all the time.
Acknowledging the unpleasant emotion is something everybody pushes under the carpet.
And that's the most powerful step.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, 50% work is done if you acknowledge your emotion. Because all it's doing is trying to show you I'm there. And you're saying, I don't want to see you. Just move out. And he's like, I'm there. And every time you push it away, it comes back stronger and says, listen to me, I'm there. When you say, okay, I know you're there, uska power hi khatam ho jata hai. And every time you do this, eventually you'll be like, oh, I used to get so angry and now I just feel like a speck. And after some time, you'll be like, I don't feel angry. Like, it doesn't affect me anymore. That's also training your baby in a way.
Yeah.
That's also training emotional regulation to your baby in a way. That's very powerful.
Yeah. That's what you call food for the soul.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Neha, what is that golden nutritional mantra which you would want, which is simple but very, very powerful, you would want the audience to know?
I think I would say feed your body like you're setting a foundation for a new life, which you actually are. So eat like it matters, breathe like it matters, move like it matters, think like it matters, because it matters. And when you put your thought and your attention to all these factors, you'll actually see how beautifully your baby will turn out to be. And that's what you want. You're not actually growing a baby inside you, you're growing yourself into the healthiest version. This is your chance to become your healthiest self mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually.
Yeah.
Use these 9 months for that. It's a win-win because A, you transform, B, you bring life on this planet, which is so beautifully made with all your good intentions, habits, and all your mindfulness and awareness. And what else would you want?
True.
Like, I just feel, think of all of that, live life or for those 9 months, like you're preparing something that's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
When your baby comes out, he or she should be a masterpiece that God has created through you. But you did the work. You did the divine work to create that masterpiece.
Create the divine soul, which everybody wants into.
Exactly. Exactly. So you be the divine to give birth to the divine soul. What else? You are the divine, but
Yeah.
live with that divine energy.
True.
There's nothing more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so beautiful today's session has been, Neha. It's so enlightening. It's so empowering. Actually, I would say it's more empowering than anything else. And you know, the wisdom which you shared today, I just hope that our audience listening out there just puts it in practice.
Yes.
You know, it may be there for the pregnant people, but I think that's what you call lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is a divine lifestyle, which every human being deserves.
Absolutely.
But when we say deserve, it's in our hands. We can create it for ourselves.
Yeah.
We just need the will to do it. And like you said, this will automatically comes from, you know, which came first, the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
A good gut health
Yeah.
gives you the power in the mind to think right, and the cycle goes on.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. You just have to take the first step. I believe in that. And absolutely.
And
I will open doors via you. तुम पुरुषार्थ करो, एक कदम लो, बिल्कुल. अब पूरी यूनिवर्स तुम्हें सपोर्ट करने के लिए आ जाएगी. That's all that you need to do.
Absolutely. The intention has to be there to be right, right? Eat right, be right, think right,
Yeah.
create the right world. Is
For
it?
you and your baby.
Yes, absolutely. Especially for your baby.
Yeah.
In today's time, in the atmosphere that we are living in, I think that is the first primary duty of every parent.
Yeah.
Right? Every human being actually, but as parents,
Yeah.
way more.
Yeah.
Is this world fit enough for your baby to come in?
Yes.
And what is my contribution to make it fit?
Yes. That's very, yes, right? Thank you so much, Neha. Thank you, Auntie.
It's been the most beautiful session which we've had. And I am feeling so empowered. And I hope everybody out there is also feeling empowered on this. Guys, please ध्यान दे इन चीज़ों को. Like they say, parenthood एक भक्ति है, उसके लिए शक्ति चाहिए. हम बहुत कोशिश कर रहे हैं आपकी वो शक्ति बनने के लिए, आपको वो हर उस विजडम से एम्पावर करने के लिए, ताकि आप एक बहुत अच्छे डिसीजंस ले सकें. लाइक शी सेज, पहले खुद डिवाइन हो हैं, हम डिवाइन हैं, पुट इट इन प्रैक्टिस, ताकि आप एक डिवाइन सोल को वेलकम करें, उसको इस दुनिया में लेके आए, इस दुनिया को डिवाइन बनाए. एंड टुगेदर वी कैन डू इट. यस, वी कैन डू इट. सो लेट्स ऑल डू इट. Let's all make out, like you said, take the first step and let's move on. God bless, take care, and we hope and pray that your journey, starting from your preconception, if you are in that stage, or if you're pregnant, or you are post-pregnancy, is beautiful and divine and joyful for you and your family. Take care and God bless.